welcome to the very first episode of Good Times News, your leading camp news source. I'm your host, Chad Edwards. Good Times News will be coming to you every 2 weeks to give you the latest and greatest on the happenings at Camp Ronald McDonald for Good Times. Each episode will feature a few different segments looking into the various aspects of camp. The very first segment each week will be What's Happening, Camp? This will be our chance to get an update on some cool opportunities and goings-on inside the organization of Camp Ronald McDonald for Good Times. And I'm super pleased and happy to announce and welcome our very first guest for What's Happening Camp, the Executive Director of Camp Ronald McDonald for Good Times, Fatima Gelmain Rodriguez. Hello, Fatima. Are you there?
Oh my gosh, Chad. First of all, can I just tell you how honored I am that I am your first guest? I just can't even believe when I got the call, I was shocked and amazed and so honored that you asked me to be on your show. So thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much, Fatima. But believe me, the pleasure is all on this end. Thank you for being here. Now, as you know, What's Happening Camp is our chance to find out what's going on in the organization and to get some updates. The first question I have for you around this is, what is the Circle of Healing? Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, that's a great question. So our Circle of Healing is actually our monthly sustainer program. So if you're part of the circle, that means that you're giving to camp every month. It's an auto gift that you can just set it and forget it. So it's a wonderful way to show your support of camp. And it really is super helpful for us because it helps us save on fundraising expenses. You know, when you're part of Circle of Healing, you're no longer going to be getting solicitations from us in the mail, so that saves on printing. So you're being environmentally thoughtful and friendly to our environment. It's helping us save on postage, but more than that, it's just really ensuring that, you know, we have a sustainable source of revenue. I think during times like the pandemic, when our fundraising has kind of ebbed and flowed, it hasn't been as consistent depending on the funding source. Our Circle of Healing members, we know we can count on them and they're giving to us month after month. So we're just trying to grow that base of support.
Now, Fatima, I'm compelled to ask, are you yourself a member of the Circle for Healing?
Oh my gosh, Chad, I am a proud member of the Circle of Healing. I actually just joined today because I was like, Chad's going to ask me that question. And how can I come here and ask the people to join me if I am not a member? And I have to tell you, the reason I wasn't a member before is because I give to camp all year long. We have lots of campaigns going on. The Walk for Kids, for example, is going on right now. And I like to support as many counselors as I can. There's lots of sales happening with swag that incentivize us to give. And of course, I have my Camp Ronald McDonald for Good Times closet full of camp swag that I've just been adding more items to. So I was thinking, you know, I don't need to be part of the circle because I already give all year long through these different campaigns. But I feel like this is just an extra level of commitment and support and belief in our mission. So I said, you know what, I'm going to take the pledge. I'm joining Circle of Healing. So yes, I am a proud member.
On behalf of the organization and our executive director, Fatima, thank you, Fatima, for joining the Circle of Healing. Now, if our viewers out there wanted to join the Circle of Healing, how would they go about that?
That is a great question, Chad. I'm sure there's a link that's associated with this Good Times News where people can link. Otherwise, you can go to our website, rmhcsc.org/camp. And I believe it's one of the second little header that scrolls up that says Circle of Healing. You just click on that and it's very easy to give through that link.
Thank you so much, Fatima. One more question. Looking at my calendar, I see a couple of events coming up on Wednesday and Thursday. Can you tell me more about those events, please?
Yes, so when you are a Circle of Healing member, you get some wonderful benefits. You can go to the website and it'll tell you more about the wonderful events you'll get invited to. There's just tons of benefits aside from just supporting camp. One of the benefits is you're going to get to have an exclusive meet and greet with camp's incoming president, Carmen Herrera, on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. And you also have an opportunity to meet with our CEO, Vince Bryson. He's my boss, so we love him. And he will be speaking on Thursday at 4 o'clock. And you'll get to hear more about what's happening within the larger organization, which of course includes camp. So if you want to have some one-on-one time with these important leaders in our organization, join the Circle of Healing and you will get access to these riveting Zooms on Wednesday and Thursday.
Fatima, thank you so much for joining us today on What's Happening Camp. It sounds like the Circle of Healing is the way to go if you want to support camp all year round. We look forward to having you back soon on Good Times News. Thank you, Fatima.
Thank you, Chad. And I just want to leave by saying, even though we're not in person, camp is still in session. So you are making a difference, and just want to say thank you to everyone for joining me in the Circle of Healing. And thank you, Chad, for this important segment that will be ongoing for months to come. We all love seeing you. You are our camp celebrity. So thank you for doing this for us.
Thank you again to Fatima Gelmain Rodriguez for joining us on What's Happening Camp. We'll be right back after this short break. And we're back. The next segment on Good Times News is called Catching Up With. Each time on Catching Up With, we'll bring a new mystery guest into the studio to catch up with them on what's been going on since the last time we saw them at camp. This could be a counselor, it could be a staff member, it could be a med shed person, it could even be a camper. This week, our very first guest on Catching Up With is a longtime counselor at camp. He's also been a doc in the med shed. If you don't see him around camp, you can probably catch him on Instagram. That's right, folks. Please welcome to Catching Up With and Good Times News, Dr. Stephen Stretch Speicher. Welcome, Stretch.
How's it going? Nice to see you.
You too. We appreciate you joining us on our very first episode of Catching Up With on Good Times News. Now, Stretch, as the segment says, this is our chance to find out what's been going on with you. So, Stretch, what has been going on in your life since the last time we were at camp over a year ago?
So crazy that it's been that long since we've been up here. I'm getting a little nostalgic with my background here. What have I been up to? You know, a lot's changed in my kind of personal life. I finally finished my pediatric hematology oncology fellowship at UCLA. So been a long road of college and medical school and residency and finishing up fellowship. So really exciting kind of culmination of all of my years spent at camp and being able to train and kind of learn more about, you know, cancer care and oncology care. And was really excited to finish that up and started my first big boy job, which was super exciting. Adapting to the whole remote world and remote, you know, work life. So I'm working remotely now, and that's a different experience. And I can definitely commiserate with anybody that's doing remote learning and just learning how to be engaged on Zoom and do all those normal things on Zoom. But yeah, no, other than that, you know, just trying to kind of adapt to COVID times and roll with the punches and, you know, still try to stay positive and thinking about, you know, what the future has to hold.
Thank you so much, Stretch. Now, I know you serve on the medical committee, which will be helping us make the decision on when we go back to camp in person. Thinking about that day, when it does come, what is something you are most looking forward to about getting back to camp in person?
Oh man, it's exciting just to even think about it. You know, other than the unlimited coffee, which for anybody who knows me knows that is a huge selling point. The idea of having just access to like constant coffee and the cup right there, the good cream, it's really something I miss on a daily basis. Having to make my own coffee daily is one of my least favorite things. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to coming back up and having some you know, some time in the med shed, but really, you know, just I think just being around the community. I think, that feeling, it's so, sometimes it's really indescribable, just that feeling of having everybody together. And, those first couple of days of just seeing everybody come back together, and the excitement and the energy, and, seeing campers reunite, and counselors reunite, and just seeing the community come back together in a way that will make it all seem worth it. I think that I crave. I think, like most people, I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody back in action, doing all the things that we love to do up at camp.
Thank you so much, Stretch. I think the entire community would agree with you on that answer. Now, Stretch, our camp community knows you in many roles: as a counselor, as a peer, as a doctor. But no matter the role, I know you are well respected in this community. So right now, as you have our entire community's ear, what advice would you like to pass along to those who are listening?
It's a lot of pressure. I think there's a couple of things that I would love for the community here. I think first and foremost, let's all keep our heads up right now. I think acknowledging how difficult this has been, and acknowledging how frustrating and at times exhausting, and how kind of over it, honestly, for lack of better words, we all are with the pandemic, and all of the things that come along with it. I think we need to acknowledge that. I don't think it's normal to say, this is fine, this is great. I think it's okay to admit that this is not ideal, this is not fine. And I think that, just realizing that this too will pass, and that we're getting there, where we are making progress, even though it might not feel like we're making progress. I think we are getting there. So that acknowledgement, and realizing that that we are going to get to a better state in the foreseeable future, I think is really important. And then, on a practical level, as a physician, I was one of the first people that was able to get a COVID vaccine. And I think that was an incredible, I feel so honored, so privileged to have been able to get this opportunity to get a COVID vaccine. I'm a firm believer in vaccines. I think that they're an incredible, thing that we have available to us in this country. And I think that while this was a fast vaccine, I've done a lot of work on understanding what the FDA process looks like, and I know that, to the best of our ability, this is a very safe vaccine, and more than that, it's a really freaking good vaccine too, which is cool. Which really gives me hope, because I think without that, I wouldn't be able to sit here and say that the end is in sight. But the fact that we have it, the fact that I was able to get it, and so I think what I would want to kind of give as a piece of advice is, when it's your turn and when you have that opportunity, please take it. I think that obviously talk to the right people medically, and make sure that you're clear to get it, make sure it's appropriate for you. But when you have that opportunity, have faith in scientists, have faith in the fact that this is really an amazing, incredible thing that we could have only done in the year 2020. If we were dealing with this 100 years ago, we would not have this incredible opportunity. So yeah, just really taking that opportunity. And I know most people don't look forward to getting poked with a needle, and I understand that. I was actually really excited to get poked with that needle. But yeah, take your turn when it is your turn, and realize what an incredible honor it is.
Thank you so much, Stretch, for joining us. So well said. I know Stretch is ridiculously busy, not only helping people, but working on his Instagram game. So thank you for taking the time to join us. And we hope we get to see you again soon, Stretch. Take care.
Thanks, Chad. See everyone later.
And as we close out the night, for our final segment, it's time for a little feel-good moment. I would like to introduce you to camper Ethan Salmaron. Ethan is not only a camper, but he serves on our teen advisory committee. And recently, after our Winter Whoop session, Ethan had an opportunity to speak at our camp board meeting to talk about what Winter Whoop meant to him. Here's Ethan.
The Winter Whoop camp gave all of us a nice break, where I usually just sit in a meeting and I'm muted, but Andy encouraged us all to keep our mics on. So it was like a flowing conversation, and it was a nice break, and something that I've noticed because of Winter Whoop, when I go back into class, I'm participating like about 50 to 100% more than I was before. And that helps my grades, but it also helps me learn. So.
Thank you so much, Ethan, for being a member of TAC, for being a fantastic camper, and for taking the time to share your experience with our camp board. As we close out the broadcast, I'm going to ask you, the viewer, Do you have a camper, a counselor, a volunteer who you would love to hear from on Catching Up With? Or maybe you have a feel-good moment you would like to share with the community? Email us here at the studio at crmfgt.news@gmail.com. That's right, crmfgt.news@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. As we close out and our time is ending, I would just like to say thank you. Thank you for joining us on our very first episode of Good Times News. We look forward to coming to you again in 2 weeks with some more updates and hopefully some fantastic interviews from some of our amazing community members. So until we see you again, I would like to ask one favor of you, one favor I ask all the time at camp, that is to please, as we're out in the world, getting back out there, treat everyone you come in contact with. Those neighbors, your loved ones, but especially yourself. Treat them the way you treat each other at camp. If we did that, the world would be a much better place. Until next time, I'm Chad Edwards. Good night, everyone. What? No, I'm making a shopping list. We need avocados, though. Yes. Blueberry? Still on?